These two happy little fellows are the Station IX No.3 and the Station IX No.4. What's Station IX, you ask? Station IX is a company that I discovered through following a French knife maker named Tony Lopez, who makes some really cool stuff. He'll frequently show himself in the jungle, in the jungles of South America, I believe, using some of his knives. But also he has this whole other side with self-defense, really cool Pikal style knives and small self-defense style EDC fixed blades. Tony Lopez, you got to check him out. But he's associated with this new company called Station IX. Station IX is a company that designs products for production that are based on World War I and World War II martial kit, if you will, like military martial kit. Some French resistance weapons, some British intelligence weapons, some, in this case, Austro-Hungarian weapons. So, well, let's look at this. This is the knuckle duster. It's the No.3, as I mentioned, and it's based on a knuckle duster that was produced for the Austro-Hungarian Army during World War II. And it had these nasty little nubbins that you could tear someone up with when punching, but also had no palm swell like a more traditional style knuckle duster, like this McNeese Knives knuckle duster. It says "Be nice." I love that. A little classy touch there. But this palm swell you'll see frequently on a lot of different knuckle dusters, just to shore up and shore up the piece in your hand so that it doesn't slide this way, north to south, when you're punching. These, incidentally, are just a little large for my hand. I can still use them, but if I were to custom order a pair of knuckles, I would get them smaller for my hands. So this does not have the palm swell, and the reason for that was so that soldiers could kind of have these on over their gloves and do other stuff with their hands, reload their weapons, fire a weapon, or hold it in this hand and brace a weapon or whatever. You just didn't have all this other excess stuff in your way if you needed to do other things with your hands. Interesting design. When I first saw them, I thought, oh, those look like they're going to really mangle your hands. But actually, this palm swell free design is surprisingly ergonomic or surprisingly sure. As a matter of fact, in my just punching my heavy bag with both of these, this one I had to wrap a towel around because I didn't want to puncture the heavy bag. But in hitting both of these, I actually found these more comfortable. And I'll do a video on these knuckles on their own. A lot of the discomfort has to do with my hand size in these, but also some design things I would maybe change up a little bit. But here, the discomfort I found in this is also in that they're slightly large for my hand. You could fit some pretty big mitts in there. I think they're an inch and 1/16, those opening holes. But when I put on gloves, these are my work gloves. I have a pair of, tactical gloves that I got off Amazon that I keep in the car, and they fit perfectly on those. But like right here, this is very solid when I have gloves on. Also, the inside of this milling is it's not rough, but it's not really chamfered here. So with gloves, not only do they remain a little more in position, but it's more comfortable, as you might expect. Also fills in those fingers so that those finger holes so that there's really no movement. And I pity the fool that receives a punch with these things. They're aluminum, so they don't necessarily have the weight. Well, they definitely don't have the weight of brass knuckles. And let's face it, that weight is part of what is so devastating about them. But they do have lightweight, which allows you to maybe use them in a different way. Maybe you can box a little better when they're not as heavy. Then again, let's face it, brass knuckles are not that heavy. But in any case, these are nice and light. I've kept these in my jacket pocket in one of my cool jackets, K-U-H-L. It is K-C-O-O-L, but I'm talking about cool, and it's a light jacket, and this fits in the pocket real easily. And I forgot it was there for 2 days. I was like, damn it, where are my new knuckles? and literally forgot about them. So you can drop these in your pocket and just pull them out and use them there. And they're a very reasonable price. Go check out Station 9. Follow them on Instagram, and then they have a great online shop there. They have a number of cool other items. They have a number of blades. They have a large knife, about a 7-inch blade, that's based on, it looks kind of like a kitchen knife, but sort of in the Fred Perrin tradition. And these were knives that were chef's knives and kitchen knives that were altered and used during World War II in resistance activities as weapons, fighting weapons, or so the story goes. And so they have that. They have some other little clandestine knives. One of them is called a tire shredder or something like that. It's got one ring and a hook. It looks nasty. And they have a G10 knife coming out, I believe, a push dagger. I love these things. I love these kind of spy weapons or resistance weapons, if you will. I think they're really compelling because they were built out of necessity, and you also had to be able to hide them and also had to be able to use them. This next one is the Station IX No.3, and it's based on a, what is it, S.O.E. Some of their videos on Instagram, they'll show you how you can use this little knife. But lapel dagger, in the past it was made out of leather, now it's Kydex. Thank the modern age. I love Kydex. But this is meant to be, it's very small, very light. It's meant to be sewn into your, under your lapel, sewn into your pocket, on the inside of your pocket. So it's in there, but not, not noticeable. And it's so light and so thin, it won't print. I've dropped this in the bottom of my pocket many times since I've gotten it. So not too many times, and also kind of forgotten it's there because it's so light and it's so, the footprint is so small. So on their Instagram page, they show different ways you can kind of casually stroll along. I would not use purple paracord. I would probably use black, so maybe I should replace this. But with different loops and different knots, you can, there are many different ways to hold it. And you can take this, here, let me see, got some cardboard right here. You can just, you can really, with these rows of very aggressive jimping, it stays where it needs to stay, but also using this knot, it braces in case it pushes back. It's not going to push back too far. And then you can hide it, you can flip it out. I've seen them do different sort of hand holds where you're like holding it kind of like this and punching with it. And I think it's all cool because it's the kind of thing a spy would carry, or a resistance fighter, or someone who's being clandestine. It's very, very sharp, like paper cut and sharp. And it's made out of VG10, stone washed. It's made in China, and it's got a really great little sheath. Station 9, check them out. Very, very interesting stuff. And they have a lot of cool pictures on there of resistance fighters from World War II, kind of for their different products and such. And yeah, it's cool. I can't wait for them to come out with a SAP or some sort of small, weighted baton or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. So, yep, there you go. Station 9. Get you some.